Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman. Yeah, allergies today. Anywho, I've been lazy. I'm sorry. I've been lazy lately, and I'm finally gonna try to break that. Be I I'm trying to upload now because I know I still need to finish up W month with the Axel and the Eternal movie. And right now I need a cup of water, so how about I just start playing the intro and I'll get back to you once I get that water or afterwards. Now the intro. Okay, so now I'm back and I got my cup of water. So let's get into it talking about the KamenRider W Returns, Axel, and the Eternal movies. It's not going to be like a regular review this time since I don't have a script or anything, since once again I apologize about being lazy for the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. And so I'm uploading now to actually get out of that habit. So let's start off with the Axel movie. I want to talk about the bad stuff or the annoying stuff first before getting into the movie itself. Alright, so already I can name one of the annoying aspects of the Axel movie. And that is, unfortunately, that Ryu and Akiko being married. Now here's the thing too. I don't mind that they're a couple. In the show, like with them being kind of having crushes on each other, that I thought was sweet. But then they got married, and it's not that them being married is terrible, it's just all Akiko, and how she acts like she has had no character development at all throughout the show. And mind you, this takes place after the show, so it's like, what the hell? It's really like, and there's an idea, sort of fan theory, that I'm spitting out of my ass right now, that Akiko has trust issues. Because think about this for a second. She grew up without her dad essentially in her life. And once she found out that he was a KamenRider and whatnot, all those bad thoughts and whatnot coming alive. That's just me. It's like, Akiko should be better. It's like, I don't want to put the rap on both of them. I take that back. I don't just want to put the rap on Akiko, because let's talk about other portions in this movie, actually. The fight choreography in this movie are good. There are good fight scenes, but I want to say the first one, the second one, I believe, with Ryu fighting against minions is the worst one because of all the shaky cam. It's like, there's a reason why no one likes shaky cam. Like, imagine watching this video right now and how my hands are moving a little bit in the camera. Imagine if it was like this, punching around and everything. You can't understand. You don't know what to pay attention to. And it makes everything hard to watch. Like, if the fight choreography was just going on and boom, someone falls down and the direction goes to them, that would be fine. That's all it needs. But yeah, the second one where Ryu is handcuffed to a pickpocket, which I'll talk about the plot in a second, and he doesn't transform at all because... Okay, let me explain that one part. Actually, let me explain the plot in general, now I thought about it. The whole thing about this movie is that it's a reconfirmation that Ryu is a KamenRider and he won't change, or basically it's a reaffirmation that we already got from within the show. which makes it seem a bit unnecessary. But one of the good parts is that it's a chance for Ryu to connect to someone to show that being able to change is possible, which is good because most of this movie is about a daughter of a pickpocket being hunted by the monster of this movie, and Ryu is mainly spending most of her time protecting her. Now, this started off one night where the pickpocket named Aoi, whose actress is Sawa from KamenRider Build, and she is part of a pickpocket gang, and they all got caught by Ryu one night. They escaped, and then the minions that were spawned by the monster of the movie, but they kill most of the crew except for 2 people, and Ryu saves Aoi, as well as when the one person escapes, Ryu finds her again. Aoi steals Ryu's axle memory, and for a good moment in this movie, Ryu is shocked that the axle memory is missing. Mind you, he's handcuffed right next to... He's handcuffed with a pickpocket, so he doesn't think maybe she has it. Like, this is my 3rd time watching this movie, by the way, and I'm looking at this thinking, dude, you're right next to a pickpocket. What does that tell you? But like I said, second fight in this movie is the worst one. Moving on. Actually, let's talk about... I'm going all over the place here. Okay, so yeah. Ryu spends his time with Aoi as the Commander Dopon has strapped a bomb to her because she actually stole something off of him a couple of nights ago, and it's a memory adapter, and the bomb is set to explode in 2 hours if they don't give it to him. And while the Commander Dopon, the monster of the movie, is at it, he takes Ryu's gun and shoots Jin to blame him for basically giving him a bad rep. The Commander Dopon escapes. Other officers see Jin shot and accuse Ryu of doing it. And for some reason, he doesn't bother to explain himself. Like, literally would have taken 2 seconds. He would have said, oh, a Dopon did it, or better, show the freaking bomb. But no, he doesn't bother to explain himself. Moron. Anywho, so, here's one of the best fight scenes in this movie happens. Ryu and Aoi go to a private club where the pickpocket gang leader is there to get what they're looking for. And before he gets the memory adapter, Ryu fights a club full of people and whips their asses something fierce. There's a little bit of shaky cam, but it's not as bad. And man, hot damn. Just hot damn. Ryu's the shit. He gets the memory adapter. They go... Well, first, Ryu and Aoi have a little talk. And further reason as to why I like Ryu as a character. Anywho, Ryu and Aoi, they get the adapter. They meet at the location where they agreed to meet. But before the Commander Dopon shows up, the cops come to arrest them. And it turns out that the Commander Dopon is actually an inspector whose name I forgot. But I do know that the actor was previously the commander from Ultraman Mebius. I didn't know that on the spot. I looked it up and I realized, oh yeah, I've watched Ultraman Mebius before. Great show. And so, yeah. Okay, where was I gonna go with this? Oh yeah. Aoi reveals, Aoi, by stealing the officer's badge and sneaking it onto Ryu, is how he finds out who the Commander Dopon is. And what else? Wow, I'm going all over the place. Okay, no, I'm on the right track, actually. I'm going a little bit all over the place. And it's because I'm, explaining the movie. Yeah. once the Commander Dopant eventually not abducts, but arrests Aoi to eventually kill her, and Ryu goes after him, and he commandeers a bus to actually go after them. And another awful Akiko moment as she gets on the bus too, and Ryu still doesn't bother to explain himself. I need a moment. I just need one quick moment for a second. See how this hat's turned? That means I'm not kidding. It means I can't even do it with a straight face. Goddamn. Point is, not kidding. How this hat's turned? Not kidding. That entire time, Ryu could have explained what was going on while driving, but no, he doesn't bother to because he has a catchphrase to keep up with. Just, even a Dopant is dead in Akiko's face and nothing clicks. I missed my cup of water. It's outside. But yeah, they have an argument, and Akiko straight up gives him an ultimatum. Either her or Aoi. You're married to a cop. What does that tell you? He's not being neglectful. And the only reason why Akiko is complaining is just because he won't call her Akiko, instead Chief. Like, it's a pet name or nickname or whatever. Anyway, the point is it's supposed to be something special, but the reasoning is stupid. No, why Akiko is being ridiculous is stupid. Like, just, dude, no. But yeah, anywho, Ryu eventually, he does get his memory back and fights off the Commander Dopant and gets the bomb off of Aoi using Trial. Which now makes me think, why didn't he just use Trial earlier to transform? Anywho, wow. So, speaking of which, let's actually take a moment to talk about Shotaro and Philip, because they actually have a reduced role in this movie. And it makes sense. This isn't their movie, this is Axel's movie. And their only role in this movie is to, well, fight the minions so that Ryu can go after the bad guy. And it's good, it's serviceable, and it furthers the point that, well, this is Ryu's movie, not theirs, so take a step back. So yeah, Ryu faces the Commander Dopant again, and this time I believe he's upgraded, but he does manage to knock the bomb off of Aoi using Trial, but he does end up taking a missile to the leg. And while I'm saying that, I just realized how extreme that sounds. But yeah, the bomb is, yeah, the Commander Dopant has the booster and he escapes. And the Commander Dopant actually eventually kidnaps Akiko to... Let me explain the Commander Dopant to begin with. The Commander Dopant is first a very vastly corrupt cop who lost his wife thanks to, because of, well, a random gunman that just killed her flat out, just like that. And so it changed him to basically, instead of being a man of the law, it changed him into a straight up cop killer. Well, no, not cop killer, criminal killer. And yeah, he is very, very, very far gone to the point where he finds murdering criminals to be, well, saving them. Yeah, dude's off his case. And him kidnapping Akiko just so he can kill her right in front of Ryu would be his way of making Ryu into another him so that they can both kill criminals together. And, yeah, no for just no for plenty of reasons. But yeah, Ryu doesn't go for it. he does at least save Akiko. But here's something that's totally ridiculous about it, if you have seen this movie. Or if not, let me explain this scene. The Commander Dopant shoots at Akiko, she falls down, and it's all happening in slow motion. To the point that in real time, Akiko would have fallen down to the ground dead. But in that amount of time, Ryu has enough time to freaking transform, and Aoi can just bum rush into the Commander Dopant, steal the adapter, and throw it to Axel, just so he can get his upgraded form. Yeah, time does not work that way, and neither does physics. But, Booster, let's talk about that look, shall we? He's yellow. He's yellow. And I don't mean that as a racist thing. I mean, the suit turns yellow. And he can fly. That's about it. But yeah, he beats the Commander Dopant. Aoi turns herself in so that she can start off new when she gets out of prison. And Ryo and Akiko appear to have a kid later in the Kamen Rider Chaser movie. So, they resolve their problems. Yeah. The Axel movie is a mixed bag. There's stuff to like about it, but there's also stuff to hate about it. The repeat of Ryu, it's basically... Ryu is not going to change how he is, and nothing will ever make him change, because he's a dedicated competent Kamen Rider and husband. Basically, huge husband points there, and that's all he needs to be. Now for the Kamen Rider Eternal movie. I'm not gonna lie. People have said online that the Eternal movie is the worst of the W movies. But oddly enough, I disagree. And let me explain why. It's honestly, well, not that bad. Well, for starters, it's an origin movie. And here's another thing I should explain. Well, I'll explain that right now. It's basically an origin movie of Kamen Rider Eternal. And of course, we already know his origin. He's like Katsumi Daido. He died at a young age, and his mother, who is a scientist, basically did everything she can to bring her son back to life, and has, with being able to turn him into a Never, which, by the way, a Never means a Necro Over, and what that is someone who's been brought back to life, but is basically indestructible. Like, shoot him in the heart, won't even affect them. And with Gaia memories and doing a maximum drive, it's the only way to kill them, basically. But yeah, it's basically just an origin story for Kamen Rider Eternal, and how he meets the other Dopants too. The Luna Dopant used to be in a gang. The Trigger Dopant used to be a sniper or something. I totally forgot what the Metal Dopant used to be. And they discovered the Heat Dopant while she was breaking out of prison, and is murdered right there on the spot. Katsumi turns them all into Necro Overs, and they become a mercenary unit that just straight up kills. And one day they eventually... Darkness. Where's that? Oh yeah. So just one day they eventually go to this village or somewhere, a dome, where bajillions of telekinetics are. And okay, it's a village where a bunch of telekinetics are, and they're all ruled under one man, who is Dinah Black / Goggle Black's actor, who is the Eyes Dopant. and he basically rules over them. And eventually, if he feels like it, he'll just kill people if he feels like they aren't strong enough to live. And so, yeah, basically with Eternal and the other Dopants there, they basically just take their time to start an uprising. And here's how he discovers being Eternal. First off, the final boss of the show, Kazu Jun, is there. And I forgot what he did. I think he was there to go after... Yeah, he was there to bring in the Necro Overs or something, while he has the prototype type 2 memories with him. And the prototype of the Eternal memory, like, it finds itself to Katsumi, and which is how he's able to become Eternal. The point of that movie is, it's basically... Okay, here's something about this movie that's a bit ridiculous. It's all being retold as a flashback by someone who personally knew Katsumi and found Shotaro, Philip, and Akiko. It's being told as a flashback. And what else? It's trying to shed light on Katsumi. Like, he wasn't always a bad guy. He was actually quite nice. Or at least a savior to her and all the other telekinetics. It's like they're trying to say that he was worthy of the title of KamenRider, when in reality, okay, it's a matter of perception, really. But yeah, even with that being considered, in actuality, no, he is not someone I would consider a KamenRider. He did not earn the title as W and Axel did. He is someone who is considered a KamenRider synonymously and wears the title falsely because of his later actions. Like, yeah, he did something for you and your people. But spoiler alert, at the end, he eventually beats the Eyes Dopant, frees everyone. I think almost all the people except for the one girl dies. And instead of trying to save her, oh yeah, Kazu also gets killed by Eternal too. And his people turn him from Foundation X, they turn him into a Necro Over to save him. Oh yeah, by the way, Kazu was a Necro Over. I don't know. I think I forgot to mention that from the W review. And yeah. So yeah, about this girl who sees Katsumi as a good guy. Katsumi basically, when the Heat Dopant sees her, well, injured and possibly dead, Katsumi looks at her and says, "Fuck her, let's go." Huh. Mailman, let me go see for a second. So, yeah, Katsumi just looks at her and says, "Fuck her, let's go." And so, then his madness descended and he later died in A to Z. So, yeah. Why do I not think this movie is bad? And it's because it's because Eternal did not start off as bad. He started off as just a pathless mercenary and then a rebel and savior to these people. For as many times that, or maybe when some people could debate that Thanos did nothing wrong, here's where I would actually debate that Eternal was not entirely evil or did anything wrong at first, because yeah, Eternal is considered a hero to, or maybe even a KamenRider to those people that he saved. But on a wider scale, he also tried to kill and take over the world and turn everyone into necro-overs. So, yeah. And not only that, it's also kind of deep there, too, with his plans and everything. It's so deep with his plans. And so to the point where I can actually get where he's coming from, but I still would not approve them and think that they were wrong. And at the end of the movie, the very end of the movie, Shotaro and Philip have a bouquet. And while Shotaro does take the girl's words into consideration, Philip still says, nah, fuck him. And that's this movie. And that's both of these movies, really. Axel is a mixed bag. Eternal is fine, for the most part. I barely saw any flaws. And it's about it. Not much else I can say except for these movies are fine. Though I think Eternal is a bit more fine. And finally, that is the end of W Month. I am going to get off my lazy ass now to get to uploading more content. Just so I can get out of being lazy, because I'm not just doing it for my channel. I'm doing it for myself because I personally don't like being lazy. I like to be active and doing stuff. And this is a hobby for me. So I'd like to sort of, get off my ass to actually do that hobby. I want to be able to have fun. And for fun, speaking of which, I know that there are some, 2 reaction videos that I would like to get out there. And trust me, I will do those next. There's also other stuff that I would like to do as well. Because right now, as I'm talking right now, I have 3 videos in mind that I definitely want to get out there for you guys to enjoy. But overall thoughts, the Axel movie was a mixed bag. The Eternal movie, it's good to watch because it gets you into thought, which is what I like to see in superhero movies or even supervillain movies. And so I'd say personally, go check them out, see if you like them or not. And with that said, that is finally the end of W Month. What time is it? 4:12? I'm going to be editing as fast as I could to get this out by 5. Maybe I will, let's hope I get this out by 5. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. I will definitely try to upload more since I haven't in the past 2 weeks for W Month. The next time I do a theme month, I hopefully will be less lazy, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.